Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Trecena of Tz'i, and this Trecena of Tz'i is going to be particularly interesting because it's also including the wayeb in the middle of it. So what do we know about Tz'i? What does Tz'i bring to us? Well, Tz'i is also all about faith and loyalty. It's about justice. It's about guidance as well. So when we see Tz'i coming in, these are all themes that are going to be sort of coming in for this Trecena. Now, sometimes this might not necessarily give us the easiest ride, because if our faith is going to be tested, something's going to come to test our faith, right? Something's going to say, right, okay, are you sure about that? Are you really attached to that? Do you really see your loyalty with that? And so these are possibilities that come in. Now, the Tz'i Trecena also brings up certain issues with regards to attachment, and certain issues with regards to kind of like the way that you show your loyalty. I often feel that the Tz'i Trecena should have the phrase, "My word is my bond," attached to it. And so it's kind of like, what bonds have you made? How does your word stand in the world? Are you showing your faith? Are you being loyal to your commitments? So these are kind of things which might come up for the Tz'i Trecena. And as we go through, we're also going to go into the new year of 8 Noch, halfway through the Trecena. So it's kind of like there's a big stir up at the end of the year coming out, because we have these 5-day period of wayeb in there as well. So I don't know necessarily that it's going to be too harsh a time, but I think it's certainly a time to keep our eye on things. Okay, so we're going to begin on 1 Tz'i. And 1 Tz'i, we could also see that as a renewal of our faith in something. Renewal of our loyalty, or a beginning of something, because the 1 is all about that seed. And that seed is going to grow into something, it's going to create something, it's going to become something. And what it's connected with is faith and loyalty. It's also connected with unconditional love. So this might be a new way of expressing your love. I mean, that might be one way of looking at it. It could be about a renewal of your faith in something, or a renewal of your loyalty to something. Renewal of your vows or something like that could be kind of like seen as a very easy way of putting it. But Tz'i is asking us what we're attached to, who we're attached to, what we're loyal to. From 1 Tz'i, we move to 2 bats. Now, 2 bats is a really, really interesting renewal, I think, because bats is already about bringing 2 things together. It's about bringing the warp and the weft together in the weaving. And bats is about creation of beauty. It's about the creation of art into this world, the creation of something really beautiful into this world. And yet the 2, well, could be about partnership. It's a great day to get married on. It could also be about bringing together 2 opposites. Now, we could see that as coming together in a marriage. We could also see it as coming together in a weaving. You know, you could weave a cloth from the same colour and you would get a fine cloth. But when you can take 2 opposing colours and weave them together, you might get something even more beautiful out of that. And so 2 bats could be about weaving 2 opposing things together in order to get something beautiful. So it might be opposing points of view. It might be 2 things that don't normally go together, that you bring together and create something novel and beautiful from. So from 2 bats, we then go into 3 Ech. So this is the first day of wayeb. Wayeb we see as a period of introspection. We see it as a time when we retreat to our cave, we reflect on what's been going on in the last solar year, because the wayeb is the last 5 days of the 365-day period before we go into the new year on 8 Noch. So this is a great time to start a retreat. It's a great time to reflect on your journey. And 3 is an excellent day to reflect on your journey, because the 3 brings an internal focus. The 3 is about the home. And so it's saying the journey within your home, the journey within yourself. So this will be, maybe I should put the Gregorian days up there. So this will be the 13th, 14th, 15th of February. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay? So 15th through 19th is the wayeb period. That's the introspection period. So the 15th, the 3 day, the journey into the self, the auto-reflection, a review of the year. This year 7 that we're coming out of, 3 is the time to review it, to see where your journeys have taken you, to see which paths have ended, to take a journey within. And this is, if wayeb is considered to be a time when the energies are a little bit funky, a little bit out of balance and that kind of thing, then 3 is really saying stay at home. Like 3 can represent obstructions, particularly in the outer world, and is on the journey, so it's like obstructions on the path. If the path is going to be bumpy, better not take the road, right? Or at least leave a little bit of extra time if you do. Better to stay home though. Okay, from 3 we're then going into 4 on the 16th, so the 2nd day of wayeb. Again, very much about the home, very much about harmony in the home. Is about the harmony that we create when we're brave, when we stand up for things. There's a leadership aspect to it. This is about very much about being supported in the home. How have you supported your home over the last year? If we're looking on this period of introspection and reflection in wayeb, what have you done for your community in the last year? In particular, being as it's the 4, physically, what have you done? How have you helped out? What is your strength? What is your talent brought to your community? From 4 we move to 5 in the middle there. And 5 Ish is our connection to the Mother Earth. Ish is our connection to the shrines and altars, to the sacred spaces, to the magical. And the number 5 is the number of work. It's the one hand that we do the work with. So 5 could be seen about working with Mother Earth. Again, Mother Earth we see as kind of like this internal, the dark nurturing space of Mother Earth. And this is putting our energy into that darkness, putting our energy into the creation, talking with Mother Earth. It's putting our energy into working on the magical being within us. Where has our journey taken us? In the last year, what have we come to with regards to that? From 5 we go into 6 Tz'i. Now, as we start to come out of the other side of wayeb, we're now starting to look to where we're going to take things to. And so here we have 6 Tz'i. Well, Tz'i is the visionary. Tz'i is looking to the future. How can we make things better next time round? What can we do to help our family, our community to prosper? And in particular, being as it's the 6, it may well be very, very connected to family. What's the vision for our family? How can we stabilize our vision? Because the 6, I always like to draw this thing. So it's kind of like, here's got the physical plane, and here we've got the connection above and below. And this for me is very much the 6. So it's how can we draw on what's above and what's below in order to bring stability to our physical vision. And then finally, the last day of wayeb, the last day of the year 7 before we move into the 8 Noch year, is the day 7 Achmach. Now, Achmach is all about pardon and forgiveness. Achmach is about being a human. It's about accepting ourselves and others for everything that we are. If we weren't human, if we were just little robots following a program, we're never going to make any mistakes, but there's nothing in it. It's boring, it's stale, it's metallic. Achmach is about celebrating our human nature, celebrating the fact that we don't always get it right, celebrating the fact that sometimes we come out with scars, but those scars are what show us that we've lived our lives. But there's also a sense of forgiveness that comes from that. And this is the important thing, because Achmach, being about the sweetness of human nature, is all about forgiveness, and 7 is finality and endings. It can represent death as well. It's also about choices. So with 7 Achmach, there are certain things that we could see. I like to say that 7 Achmach is literally the forgive and forget day. It's the time to really draw a line under anything that you've been holding a grudge towards, anything that you're like burdened by, releasing and forgiving. And what better day than the last day of wayeb to say, right, okay, let's totally draw a line under anything that kind of upset us in the year 7 let's say. Anybody that we've like wronged, anybody that we feel has wronged us, right, okay, forgive. Ultimate forgiveness, right there. Let's move into the new year with a clean slate. And so this is something that I think is a wonderful thing to do. Now, as I say, for me, wayeb is not really the time to be doing ceremony, or certainly not big public ceremonies and that. But here, you might like to do something like a Ho'oponopono ceremony in your home to forgive whatever needs forgiving, to leave it behind. This is like, you know, on December 31st, and people will make their New Year's resolutions or say, right, okay, that was last year, we're going to start anew. Well, here we are with this golden opportunity right here to do the same kind of thing, but through the Mayan calendars. Okay? So it's a very, very special one. It's also about choosing. Like 7, when you're on that top of that pyramid, you're choosing. And so it's kind of like, use that perception, use that vision to see everything that you could possibly see. So what you want to leave behind and what you want to take forward. Do you really want to carry those burdens with you? And then, finally, we come out the other side and we come out into the 8 Noch. The 20th of February, the new year of 8 Noch. And this is a really, well, it should be a very promising year. The last time that we had a Noch year was 2016. And 2016, this is like putting down the foundations for our big plan. It's bringing our plan together in the physical, but it's the beginning of it. 8 Noch is consolidating that, it's building on it. And so this is a time when we can start to go forward, when we can really bring our plan into action. Noch, our mind, our brain, our intellect, our logic, bringing all of those ideas in with the wholeness. So now they're a fully formed idea. The 4 Noch, it might have been needing some development. The 8 Noch, it's all laid out, it's whole. It's wholly thought. It might be something looking back to 2016 that you've been trying to bring in since 2016. Now you've got the go-ahead. So I feel very optimistic about this year. I think it's going to be a good one. From 8 Noch, we then go into 9 Tihash. So Tihash, the obsidian blade, can represent both the warrior and the healer. Tihash is about using your discernment to cut away the stuff that you no longer need to carry, right? Tihash is about refinement. It's about making sure that what you're taking forward is actually what you want to take forward. What's going to be in everybody's best interests to take forward. Yours and everybody else's. Tihash, as the warrior, is removing kind of like the demons from the world, as it were. Tihash, as the healer, is removing the imbalances which are causing the disease. And so there is this kind of thing. I also see Tihash as the sculptor, and it's removing the mundane to bring out the divine. Okay? So it's cutting away the bits that no longer fit, so you can cut through to the truth. So you can bring out the best of it. And what do we have it paired with? Well, we have it paired with the number 9. And the number 9 is the number of the divine feminine. It's the number of life. So this is kind of like, there's certainly a feminine healing essence going on here. There is the healing of life, is what we could see going on. 90 hash is a really, really nice day. Now, we have to remember that surgery is not always a painless procedure. Sometimes it cuts a little bit, but in order to heal your life, sometimes you have to go through those kind of things. And so this is cutting away what doesn't fit so you can move forward. As you move forward into 10 Kawok. So Kawok, the midwife, the rain, the storm, that which brings new birth, that which helps the birth process to happen, moves us forward. Kawok washes away the obstacles in our path. Sometimes I see it's like Tihash has cut something and then Kawok washes it away, washes away the debris. And how do we wash it away? Well, with the help of our community, because the 10 is this. It's the two hands coming together. So it's kind of like cooperate to allow the new birth, to allow this new life to come in. From 10 Kawok, we're then going into 11 Achpu. Achpu, the quest for the divine. Achpu is taking us on that journey towards the hero within each one of us. That highest aspect that we can attain. And here, with the 11, well, you know, the 11 days kind of like, sometimes they might be a bit chaotic and disorganized, but they can also prove to be very fruitful. This is not looking in the usual direction. This is not about linear thinking or taking a straight line path. This is about searching in a few different places to understand how your journey takes you. It's about calling on different aspects of the divine in order to take that journey. From 11 Achpu, we move into 12 Imosh. So Imosh can represent the great waters of the world, the sea, the lake, the oceans. Imosh also represents collective consciousness that joins us all together. Imosh represents the dream world that we venture into every night. And so we see Imosh as dreams and dreaming in one way or another. And here we have it combined with the number 12, which is the bringing together of all of life's experience. So it's kind of like, use your life experience in order to bring your dreams into reality. You can already see how this Trecena is kind of progressing since the new year came in. We've got some really powerful and very positive things going on. And then finally, we end up here on 13 Ik. So, Ik, the wind. Ik can be the hurricane as well. 13 Ik can be a very, very blustery day. 13 Ik, we might not exactly be sure what's going to happen. It's a day to hold on to your hats, as they say. It's also a day to be very aware of your words. 13 Ik is going to produce some very, very powerful words. And once they're out of the bottle, you can't put them back in. So be aware of your speech, be aware of what you're saying on 13 Ik days, because it might have some unintended consequences. But that said, the other thing that we can see with 13 Ik is that Ik is about spirit. Ik is about the ancestors. And 13 Ik can be about the word of the ancestors.
So it's more about listening.
Could well be, yeah. It's a great day to receive messages or listen for messages from the ancestors. It's a great day to visit and receive that information from elders, from ancestors, and from spirit if necessary. It's a great day if this is your sort of thing. If you wanted to visit a medium, then 13 Ik is the day when the ancestors are speaking.
My birthday.
Absolutely. So it's a very important day, very, very powerful day, because Ik is one of the most powerful Nawals as well. So it's a day to be gentle with things again, but certainly if you're looking for messages, then, well, we was talking about listening for messages earlier. I don't think that you necessarily have to listen too hard, because they'll be like standing with a megaphone behind you, kind of shouting in your ear.
So
it should come.
can be good also this day.
Maybe. It could be good. I would say that would be a better day for Temescal. The 10K walk.
Or most honoring the waters.
Mm-hmm. But this is definitely a day to, as I say, if you're looking for communication in any kind of way, then this is the way to receive it. Okay. So there's the Trecena of Tz'i.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.